So there's one other thing I couldn't show you earlier, and that's when we were talking about all the buttons and functions and whatnot of the camera, is the nighttime mode. I was also going to say you can go on Amazon and pick up one of these kind of magic arm things that'll hold your phone in any orientation you like. I can literally unscrew this guy and put this phone in any position I like, and I can clamp it really to anything I want to. So it's a great little bit of kit. They're super cheap and it's worth picking up, especially for stuff like this. So like I said, for a long time, taking photos in low light on an iPhone has been very tricky, / why would you try it? All these kind of things. The new phones are miles better at doing this now, and I can show you kind of their nighttime mode that they can do here, where they simulate opening up the shutter and letting more light in. So when you hear people talking about astrophotography and nighttime photography and all that, what they're talking about is when a camera opens up the shutter, it actually exposes, the shutter moves together. There's a little slit right there. So when you're holding the shutter open, it's exposing for a longer amount of time, and you're getting more light on there, thus a brighter image. So the iPhone doesn't have a shutter obviously to open and close, but it turns a sensor on and off. And so it'll actually let the sensor stay on for a little bit longer. So you need to keep it as still as possible, but it will try and bring all that light in that's available at the time and give you a brighter image. Okay, so as you can see now, because it's low light, the camera's detected that it is low light, and I have the flash off. So you can see on the top left there, it's giving me to make a nice bright image. It's saying it's going to need to hold still for 5 seconds. So and if I actually tap on that, I can on the bottom down here, you can slide, so I can make it go all the way up to 13 seconds. So we can see what all those look like. But just for starters, right now the sun is down. The camera, it's so bright on the horizon, it looks like it's still up, but it's actually down. But this is as much as light as the camera's pumping into itself right now. So if I just take that shot, I'll put it up on screen. You can see super dark. Can't really see any of the features out there at all. But then we have this amazing hack now. So if we can just use that slider on the bottom, let's do it 5 seconds and see what that looks like. So you can see it's counting down, 3, 2, 1. So it's taken the frame, and now you can see how much brighter that one is. Okay, and then let's go all the way up to the 15-second mark, see what that does. See on top it's telling you to hold still. Luckily I'm not touching the camera at all right now, so it's in there, but it's slowly exposing, and you can see how much brighter that image is now. So that's without any post-processing. I'm literally just taking the photos here. I'm somewhat cheating because I'm in a tripod. You probably won't have a tripod. So another trick, if you don't have kind of a magic arm or some kind of something to hold your camera completely still, is you get any kind of like solid object like this. I'm just using a rail, and if you set the bottom of the camera on here, let's see, it's asking for 9 seconds. Let's bring it down to 3 seconds. So as I take this photo, you'll see crosshairs come up in the middle of the camera screen itself, and that's trying to tell you that you're moving too much, and you'll see a yellow one and a white one, and you want those to both be overlapping as close to the center as possible. So here, I'll show you. Actually, to make it more evident, I'll make it the long one. So this is 9 seconds, right? So you gotta stay really still, but see, as I move around, those two crosshairs are moving. You wanna try and get them exactly level. So that image is probably gonna come out kind of blurry. So now we'll try one with the full 9 seconds, and I'm resting it on here. So I don't have any kind of tripod, and we'll turn the lights off here so we take full advantage of this. So there, I'm trying to stay as still as possible. If you move just a little bit, see those crosshairs showing up? But there's 9 seconds, keeping it as still as possible. And as you can see, it's a nice photo on top. So we're not taking photos of the most glamorous spot right now. I'm just trying to kind of explain to you guys the theory behind all these things, and it also works if this works with the 0.5 lens, so nice and wide, showing more of the scene. We can try one of those. We got a 10-second timer. I'm gonna have to hold really still for this. So the wider you're, well, it's got a lot more to try and keep sharp and still. So you want to be as still as possible here. And that one, yep, a little bit more compelling. So that's kind of the basics on the night modes that you can do on an iPhone. It's pretty incredible. You can literally, I've had these out camping and kind of set it up, taken a photo, and you can see the stars. And some of these that we just took right now, you can actually see the little, and I can barely even see the stars out there right now. So that it's, like I said, it's simulating what a DSLR is going to do. It's actually just turning the sensor on for longer, absorbing as much light as possible, and giving you these like really nicely lit. Obviously, if the subject's moving, it's not going to be great. You're going to have blur, but you could use that to your advantage. You know, car motion, if you're on a street somewhere, or that kind of stuff. So that's a cool little hack for this. It's not really a hack. It's just how you use the low light kind of night mode. Hopefully that's helpful.